Hi, my name is Shar. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an internet person. And today I thought we'd cycle through my most viral and controversial moments, just like a 90s TV show that's run out of ideas. So please, sit back, relax, and enjoy. And play this as many times as you can in the background because I need the views. Thank you. Prenups, especially for Black women, are one of the most important things that you could ever get. Let me tell you why. First off, this isn't financial advice. I'm just someone that loves knowledge and learning from other people's mistakes. Prenups are simply debt allocation agreements. It allows you off the hook if your partner during your marriage gets into serious debt. That's the main function of it. See why this could be important? Say your partner decides to spend all of your money or they have a sudden gambling problem. You're not on the hook for that because you got a prenup. And for you girlies who are super into bagging a rich man, this is especially important for you. Because in case you didn't know, rich people have a lot of debt. Debt isn't a bad thing to rich people. It's a tool that is utilized. And say you come into the marriage with not as many assets, but suddenly you have to leave the marriage and that debt is in your name. Debt that you were not aware of and debt that you did not acquire. Getting a prenup is one of the best things you can do if you're going to get married because it starts opening the path to very clear communication. You can put all sorts of things in it to protect your interests. The issue is that a lot of people don't read the fine print or they won't read the prenup because they're too in love or they don't get representation to read the prenup and they don't negotiate it and they just sign whatever, only realizing years later that they got screwed. So please get a prenup, especially Black women. You're going to expire before the age of 25. By the age of 35, literally no man's going to want you. Let's talk about why this is the biggest load of BS. So my mutual Cecilia Regina, who I'm tagging below, is doing a series this week on how when it comes to the wealthiest men in the world, older women are the prize. And I'd just like to add some more examples to this conversation. So one of the examples that Cecilia gave was Jeff Bezos, who's arguably the wealthiest man in the world. And his current fiance, Lauren Sanchez, who's 53. Dr. Moyo, who was 50 when she married her billionaire husband. Melody Hobson, who was 44 when she married her billionaire husband, George Lucas. So far, what do we have in common? Intelligence, drive, and success. I'd also like to add Amal Clooney, who was 36 years old when she married actor George Clooney. Serena Williams was 36 when she married her Reddit co-founder and billionaire husband, Alexis Ohanian. Now, if we're talking about the highest echelons of society, you want to get down to royalty? No further than Princess Angela of Liechtenstein. She literally married Prince Maximilian of Liechtenstein when she was 41 years old. 41 people! And she did not give birth to Prince Alphonse until she was 42 years old. She met Prince Maximilian at a party because she was in the right circles. She was a highly accomplished fashion designer, she went to Parsons, and she was in the right rooms. And even more famously, we have Meghan Markle, who was 36 when she married Prince Harry, and didn't have Prince Archie until she was 37. When it comes to success, a lot of these people didn't meet until their mid-30s at the earliest, once they started to reap the benefits of their years of work. All these women are highly accomplished, intelligent women who stand on their own. So when society is saying that women expire at a certain age, ask yourself, does society have it together? Is society doing so great? I just saw a video where a girl was talking about Mother's Day and how if her stepdad dropped the ball for Mother's Day, that she would pick up the slack to make sure that her mother had something for her day. And then she went on to say that if her own husband didn't do anything, how her mother would pick up his slack to make sure that she was adequately celebrated. And she kept saying that she wasn't trying to put down men. She wasn't saying that all men suck. She was trying so hard to be nice about it. And I think it's time that we stop being nice about it because this is absolute trash behavior and trash human beings have trash behavior. And what's crazy is that the majority of women have felt this in one way or the other. It's a very common experience. It's called weaponized incompetence, and they utilize it to make themselves seem dumb and mask it for what it really is, which is narcissistic abuse. It's calculated, it's vindictive, and your view of your father or whatever man in your life should absolutely be affected by this. So if you're a man who depends on the women in your life to do something for Mother's Day, I want you to know the people that you expect for your care, that their love for you is dying more and more every single year you pull this. And that one day, when you're really relying on their care, when you actually really need it, that check's not gonna cash. I just found something on Reddit that is kind of groundbreaking and I needed to share it with you guys because it put words to something that I couldn't voice for a really long time. And I think we need to add it to our vocabulary like weaponized incompetence and king baby. I found it in this Reddit thread. My partner came home all outraged that his friend was crying as he had been dumped. Since I'm friends with the ex-girlfriend, I wasn't surprised and told him so. When he went to see his mate the next day, he was being supportive. I told him to ask a few questions to ascertain whether he really was caught off guard, as if it was unexpected to me. I'm confused why it would be unexpected to the man in the actual relationship. Partner came home and went, So I spoke to him and he said he knew she'd been unhappy, but he thought it was just a rough patch. So yeah, he did know. He wasn't caught off guard. He just thought it was a tolerable level of permanent unhappiness. My friend, the ex-girlfriend, is thriving. A tolerable level of permanent unhappiness. Wow, that is a life-changing sentence. I agree, because this is what I think is the baseline for men. They get into relationships with women that works for him, but where she suffers, and then slowly chip away at her freedom and her happiness, and used weaponized incompetence to get her to a tolerable level of permanent unhappiness. That's what it is. I love the internet. Yes, this commenter gets it. They say pretty much all men want to be top tier in terms of money, power, and status, i.e. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, LeBron James, and Cristiano Ronaldo. But the majority of men know that they are not that. However, all men want their piece of the patriarchal pie and their ability to feel like God and have power and admiration and adulation like these top men that they know they'll never be. So playing with women is the average man's attempt to get a piece of the patriarchal pie, even though he is not top tier. Men do not get with women to partner. They get with women to extract their piece of the patriarchal pie, receive goods and services, as well as perform masculinity for each other. And men will actually take the fact that he is an average man and had to settle out on that unsuspecting woman, because he really wants access to the type of women that the top of the totem pole men get. Men will deem a woman not good enough by virtue of giving him a chance. And men will take out the fact that he is not his type's type out on the woman that does give him a chance. Yes, and this is something that so many women learn once they're divorced, which is why it's so important to be with a man who loves himself, is comfortable with himself, and sees you as a full human being. After a breakup, a lot of women ask themselves, if he didn't like me, if he didn't like who I was as a person, why was he with me? If he doesn't like or respect women in general, why did he marry me? And aside from the obvious answer, which is to conform to society and peer recognition, having someone cook and clean for him and, have his legacy, the simple answer is that they are world building. Dr. Ramani, a well-known expert in narcissism, always says the narcissist lives and dies within the family unit. Really think about that, because it's the answer to everything. A lot of these men have no control in the outside world. They don't have power, they don't have prestige, they don't have money. But what they can have is a wife. Someone he can put down in the same way that the world put him down. Someone he can have complete and total control over, physically and financially. Which gets me back to world building. You know how they say a lot of men will wait until a woman is pregnant before revealing his true self when it's harder for her to leave? Within the family unit, the narcissist is building a platform for themselves, where they are center stage and their wife and children may be side characters, or even just sitting in the audience. And that's why a lot of the time, once they decide their show's over, so is yours. There's something about women decentering men in their lives that just keeps men pressed. I had a man call me a witch yesterday in one of my comment sections, and though I personally took that as a high honor, and yes, I did base some of my outfit decisions on that, it was just funny to see how upset he was about it. We already know through researchers that the happiest group on earth is unmarried women without children. Women don't necessarily need romantic relationships in order to have their emotional needs met, because a lot of women in relationships already aren't having those emotional needs filled by their partner. Women were already getting that emotional support through their friends or their children. One of the best things about being a woman in modern society is if you're able to support yourself and not have to depend on anyone for your financial needs. This is a privilege that women before us didn't have. I fully intend to see it as the gift that it is. Please comment, like, and subscribe for more. Guys, we are on day 3 of me getting my YouTube mojo back. I appreciate every one of you that's been with me on this journey so far. My goal is to make it through 7 videos before I do any big announcements or anything, because I just want to focus on getting the content out. So I'll definitely be posting content on brand new topics, but I'm also going to be posting some of the older topics that I think are important to be public on YouTube. But I'm going to do kind of like a different take on them. So stay tuned.